meditative techniques to attain light body consciousness. To attain certain levels of light body consciousness, the participant, be they the master or apprentice, can use their light mind to generate particular types of exercises that create greater light mind. These exercises can be initiated by the controller of the physical body, meaning the person, the apprentice, without their light mind, that is, being in a normal, everyday state of mind, can, through certain meditative practices, attain light body consciousness. These practices are well known and include breathing techniques and other types of positioning of the body, the arms, and the head, and may involve forms of relaxation, either through mental ability to relax muscles, or even gentle motions to relieve any stresses before or even during these exercises, though motion during the exercises is not advised, as the consequences could be upsetting. The nature of the exercise in the light body manifestation of consciousness usually involves the Merkaba meditation, the counter-rotating Merkaba fields, and within a few minutes the meditation can bring light body consciousness. Those who are familiar with those techniques can attain various different levels and at different timings. Instantaneous awareness is possible, and the Merkaba does not have to be in the particular Merkaba shape for meditative purposes. There can be other superimpositions of Merkaba fields that relate to the innate Merkaba, and these have harmonics in, or should be built on the harmonics of the interior Merkabas, and the geometries are explained elsewhere. The rotating and counter-rotating fields within an individual allow the fields to manifest their living energy, and this is associated with light and light consciousness. Light consciousness is a connective consciousness that allows those that experience it to experience the many manifestations in the realm or the light realm simultaneously. This simultaneous awareness occurs as the individual is able to harmonize or synchronize their own consciousness with the movement of their Merkaba as they make it move through their own will. Therefore, the rising or raising of consciousness by the individual can be a self-motivated process, or self-motivating or automated, and the type of procedures involved do not have to be complicated. There are more effective techniques in various cultures that allow even children to attain light body consciousness with ease and maintain that consciousness throughout their lifetime. The transition from birth to to older ages sometimes involves the forgetting of light body, especially if light body is not part of the normal practice in the culture. Therefore, in the production of light body consciousness, using Merkaba meditation techniques is advised for advanced students. The power that is released by these processes, although could have effects on the apprentice that might best be described as upsetting. What this means is that the intensity of the energy being manifested in the present plane, meaning the physical plane of the apprentice, would cause extreme spasms, jolts of energy that might make the arms fly up, or even violently raise your arms in the air. So in these types of meditative techniques, the aspirant or the apprentice should be isolated from the other apprentices or the master by the length of their arms, so that involuntary motions are not cause harm. Normally the participants would be sitting on the floor, is safest for these types of meditations, although a chair can be used after the initial ability to manifest this energy is shown, and control of the body is also shown. Although the types of energy that can manifest at various points can be so intense that it is often not easy to determine what kinds of reactions the apprentice will have through these types of meditative techniques. The techniques themselves are borrowed from many traditions, yet they're part of a universal tradition that is part of a universal meditative technique that is employed across the universe. These abilities to meditate or to attain oneness with one's light body are well known and are best described by those who are experts at it. Attaining the light body consciousness in a present day mode may involve perturbations of the light field that surrounds individuals to such a degree that it might cause a type of harmonic reaction in the light bodies of other individuals in the proximity and nearby. These types of events may have surprising consequences. So in activation of light body consciousness, it is especially important to maintain a certain degree of secrecy if you are performing this in an isolated environment with possibly hostile individuals that may not understand meditative processes and the activation of light body consciousness. Light body consciousness is such that it is divided in ranks or hierarchies, and the types of consciousness attainable are also ranked by the accessibility of the particular participant. And in our cases, we will be discussing human accessibility. And there are other types of accessibility, such as accessibility to the consciousness if you're an insect or an animal or a fish or an amphibian or a dolphin. So the access to consciousness through the procedures that are available in the medium, which is basically for us the human body, and it is the instrument for attaining and retaining light body consciousness. And light body consciousness, of course, is connected to light body and all forms of light body. Going beyond the light body exercises involves being able to take steps that are personal, and that means involving personal commitments of time and mind to particular dimensions. And what this often involves is work with spirits and other beings, and so this is not undertaken lightly. And light body consciousness is best shared with higher beings, and to share a light body consciousness with lower beings can lower one's light body consciousness. So it is best that one attains light body consciousness in the company of those who are trying to attain a higher degree of light body consciousness and not a lower degree, unless that's where you're headed. The light body consciousness is such that it exists for those of all intentions and all types of mentality, and it's not all human. It's a very small fraction of the mentality, or the light body consciousness is actually associated with human consciousness. And human consciousness as such is greatly expanded through their participation in other light body lives. Now, human consciousness is, of course, limited to the human body experience and its manifestations. So, but it has certain limitations, yet when combined with light body consciousness, the human consciousness can also attain greater heights. This is the purpose and the reason for the meditative practices and other physical disciplines that are part of the light body training and the light body exercises. These techniques have been available for thousands of years and are available to many indigenous cultures and to the practitioners of religious types of practices as well. In conclusion, the light body conscious attainment is something that can occur spontaneously if one has the vehicle, or one would call the chariot of your Merkaba, finely attuned. And once that occurs, setting it in motion in particular types of counter-rotating motions can produce the enlightening effects. So once these techniques are learned, they become part of a process that can elevate the individual to a particular type of consciousness, that is light body consciousness, and then they can go from there.